Hello, beautiful light workers out there. Shauna L. Francis, and today is October 5th, 2022. Thank you so much for joining me for the daily Ascension update. Sorry I missed yesterday. By the time I sat down to channel, it was 8:30 at night, and Cryon did come through. I'll update you on what he had to say. It was a brief one, but I opted for early bedtime after traveling all day. So anyway, thanks for being here, guys. Today, I just got my new smile aligners. So they're like braces, but they're clear, like Invisalign, but it's called smile aligners. Have any of you had this? I've got a 10-month program with these things, and I had a 2-hour dentist appointment today where they prepped my teeth for this. So I apologize because I'm still getting used to speaking with them. Melchizedek came through today with an 18.5-minute channeling. All business, all for you guys. Well, me too, but for all of us. So I actually have a lot to go through. But before I get into that, I hope you're all doing amazing. I'm just feeling so much love in the air, even at the airports, going out to dinner, whatever it may be. I don't know if it's me or what, but I'm just feeling on a day-to-day basis that my heart is just bursting, and I'm just seeing so much love out there. Are you guys seeing this? And it's been so beautiful. So anyway, this morning between 6:30 and 7:30 a.m., I had been awake, went to the bathroom, came back, was falling back asleep. I had this dream where I left my body. I thought actually in my dream I was levitating, like my physical body was levitating, and it felt so real. I thought for sure this was real, and actually I do believe that it was real. But and I asked Melchizedek about this, and I'm going to talk more about this, but they confirmed it was an out-of-body experience. And this was my first. It was my first OBE. Oh my gosh. So I woke, I was elated with this. I was so excited about this experience. And I'll tell you briefly what happened, and then we'll get into the channeling here from Melchizedek. I was laying on the ground in this dream, and I had some pillows underneath me, so I was comfortable. And there seemed to be like a chalice that was passed over my body. And this isn't the first time that I have seen a chalice in my dream states or meditation. This is maybe the second time I've seen a chalice. This chalice was kind of passed over me, and then my right leg started vibrating and moving. And then I was like, whoa, this is so cool. And it felt really good actually. It felt really high vibe. And then my left leg started vibrating. And then I realized like my whole body is vibrating. And then I'm realizing I'm not feeling the ground beneath me. I'm not feeling it. I feel like I'm raising up, and I'm just like, yes, this is awesome. I'm loving this. It wasn't scary. It was just so fun. And eventually it kind of like plopped me on the bed. That's why I thought this was so real. It's like my body felt like it went from the floor to the bed. And I woke up and I realized I was still in my, where I had fallen asleep at my normal location on the bed. But it was absolutely incredible. It was so fun. Have you guys had this happen to you before? So anyway, I'll get to more of this at the end, what Melchizedek had to say about this. All right. Today it was interesting. Well, again, I was just so super energized this morning. I walked all the way to the gym and back. It's 1.2 miles. I did my workout at the gym, walked back. It's like raining outside. I didn't care. I had Paul Selig's latest Resurrection book in my ear with Melchizedek, and this is heavy-hitting stuff. I highly recommend it for you guys. So they came in this afternoon after my really long dental appointment, and they were just so faint. I'm like, I really can't hear you guys. It's just so faint. So it's like they turned up the volume. So this happens every so often, and I don't really know why, but it's like, it's just such a whisper. It's such a whisper, and sometimes it's more strong. So we got that figured out. We had our little pleasantries here, which was really nice. I said, thank you so much for coming in. And they said, it's our pleasure, Shauna. There's nothing else we would rather be doing than working here with you one-on-one, sharing this consciousness, walking in solidarity toward this common enemy, which is the dark. So I thought, okay, well, they're setting the tone for this channeling today. And they go on to say, everything is of God, even the dark. However, on this plane of existence, out of control. Heavy-hitting words. They said here, we are done using the softer words to describe what is happening here. Those who follow you and will hear these messages are ready for more hard-hitting language that is more indicative of the situation that we find ourselves in at this time. Wow. Well, and I had noticed in the book too, this latest book out of, I think it's the 10th, they use the word ascension all the time. They talk about the dark. They talk about choice. They talked about us going through this ascension process and actually having our bodies be more transparent, you know. And I love, they always pick on Paul Selig, like, he interrupts the teaching. He's very uncomfortable with where we're going with this teaching today. I'm so glad they don't do that to me. But you know, they're not mincing words anymore. And here they go. This is not to say that any of you are victims. There has been a level of complicity here that goes beyond the conscious knowing of this. I know, like David Wilcock and his Ascension Mysteries book. I've seen a lot of examples whereby the dark, whether it be reptilian or whatever it is, negative influences, we are in agreement on some level. We may not be consciously aware of that agreement, and sometimes they make it obvious, like it's in plain sight. Well, they are complicit here, but we have just we're so acclimated to it that we don't really see it for what it is. We don't understand that it's a negative force that's outside of ourselves. We don't understand that we actually have a choice. It just is so normal for us. As we have said previously in our book, humanity has been standing in this pool of darkness for so long, it doesn't even realize that it's there, and that you are standing in it and participating in this. So let's just, we just need to be on the same page here that there has been a level of complicity based mainly in ignorance and just not knowing and not being conscious. But now here we are with beings like Cryon, Melchizedek, the Galactic Federation of Light, Jesus, Archangel Michael, Metatron, Uriel. We could go on and on and on and on with all the beings who are coming through, galactic, ascended masters, angelic, to help us understand the times that we're living in right now. And it's not anything that would make sense in our 3D worlds here. This is all new territory. And again, we say that there have not been many strong role models to emulate in terms of compassion, of love, all things that are the byproduct of a higher vibrational outlook on the world. Think about this. There have not been a whole lot of role models. When I sit here today in this chair and I think, well, who's emulating, who's embodying love out there on a grand stage? And, who is, there's got to be lots of folks. The people who get our attention are the most richest in the world. The richest people in the world are the ones that get the most attention. We idolize these folks, and, they become our the folks that we look up to. Our role models, right? And they're not always going to be working on behalf of love. There's a lot of money at play, right? People have the love of money. Now that's really easy to see. That's really easy to point out. But otherwise, we don't have a whole lot of role models. And, so part of our guides here, part of their important role is to be teaching us and training us on how to be this way. What is it like to be loving unconditionally, to be standing on a platform of love? And of course, they say this is not to incite fear, but instead to help empower those of you who have raised your hands for this mission. So this isn't about being afraid of the fear. You know, fear begets more fear. It's not about being afraid of the negative influences, about the dark, none of that, right? And they said again, everything is of God. Everything's of God, but things are out of balance here and have been out of balance for a long time. We've just become so acclimated to this. This is part of this awakening. We're awakening, becoming conscious of these influences, as hard as it is to believe this stuff has happened. And now those of us who have raised our hands to be these beacons, these way showers, the bringers of light, the light workers, it's time for us to kick it into gear. We intend to be a strong guide here. We intend to be a strong leader. We intend to give you the tools to help you feel empowered to make the changes that you want to see here. This is a reckoning. Melchizedek loves the word reckoning. They use this a lot. And I think it's appropriate because everything that has been created up to this point that's been based in fear, low vibration, greed, all the things that come along with fear, anger, what have you, stifling our creativity, stifling our consciousness, our spirituality, our energy, all of these things, they need to be there. This is the reckoning. It's time to see these for what they are, get rid of them, recreate in the new. And then they go on, guys, and this is important. Well, it's all important. But here they give some timing. In the next 3 months to 3 years, you will see incredible changes. Leaps and bounds in the capacity for humanity to embrace and embody love as a leading force of change. You know, and when Cryon said the other day that for every one person here, I guess in kind of this near term, who chooses the dark or chooses fear, there's going to be 3 people who are going to choose love. Those are incredible odds. I find it really comforting that these guys are talking this way because we know things are going to get hard. They've talked about the dark days to come. They've talked about the raising of the lower the more visibility of the lower frequencies and how the higher frequencies are also going to raise to counterbalance that. We're going to meet that in kind. So I guess this is what, we have to, right? It may feel like just the opposite, but no, as we've mentioned before, the light here, the flames that are growing in intensity, joining in forces, will have its own momentum. They've talked about this a lot. We're hitting a point here where this is its own movement now as a collective. And here's how they say that. Once it reaches a certain saturation point on this plane, and for those of you who take the time and set the intention to work collectively with the energetic grid that is shared amongst all of you, the groundswell of love, the deepening of love will be palpable. I am feeling this. I'm feeling this now. I'm seeing it. I'm feeling it. And it feels so nice. It feels so good. It's so different than like 2 years ago or even a year ago with COVID. Things are just feeling, it's like you can take a nice deep breath. And even just personally in my world, like, wow, I feel like I can take a deep breath here, and I'm very excited for the future and where this is going. It will be noticeable, it will be felt, it will be a force, and it will be a force in your life. Okay, so let's just accept that. This isn't mumbo jumbo, high level, ambiguous, conceptual ideas that are never to be attained. This is the real situation. This is the world that you find yourself in today. All of this, a point of celebration. Okay, all right. Collectively, you are ready for this. And they go on here. It may seem very strange that there would be those of you who would tend to take the high road when something so egregious is right here in your face. But this is exactly what we're recommending you do as your guides. I'm going to say it again. It may seem very strange that there would be those of you who would tend to take the high road when something so egregious is right here in your face. But this is exactly what they're recommending that you do as our guides. Enter the upper room with us. What does the high road represent for you? We will say, friends, that it does not mean that you lie down on the street and allow yourself to be kicked by others who wish to do you harm, or who have been caught up in the duality here, who are caught up in the fear, so much so that they don't even recognize the fear within them, right? You know, people like this, where the fear has just become, it's their normal, it's their identity. Dismantling that mask of fear, just, it may not even cross their awareness or their consciousness that that's even possible. And I know personally for me, I have experienced this. You don't want to just, it's not that you lay down and just allow somebody to kick you or beat you with the stick. That's not what this is. No, dear ones, it's more about standing firm exactly where you're at on this platform of love. Hearts wide open. Looking at that person, sorry guys. Hearts wide open, looking at that person who wishes to do harm straight in the eyes and allowing them to be seen by you in the way that God would look upon each and every one of you. This may sound ludicrous, but when another in fear and rage encounters such love and truth, it will stop them in their tracks. You may not have the opportunity to do this literally, but figuratively, conceptually, it is meaningful and it is accurate. It's you not saying yes to fear and rage. It's not an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth. And guys, if you're reading anything or seeing anything in kind of our spiritual circles that talk about this, I'd be really leery of that. This is, these teams have been really consistent. This is not about an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, meeting rage with rage, meeting anger with anger, see who can out-anger the next person and win in the anger department. And I know you guys all know this. It's a recognition that when somebody has lost their way, know as a collective, you have the power and the ability to reflect love out to anyone who might happen to catch that reflection. Everybody is always in choice of what to do with such a strong, visceral experience such as that. But the breaking down of these old programs have to start somewhere with each person who has a light bulb moment. In these moments of reflection, it is one more light adding to the whole. That momentum they're talking about. Light bulb moment, that reflection of love and truth. Whoa, that's a visceral, it's an experience for people. A light bulb moment. There's the light for that person. And soon nearly nobody will be able to ignore the light. It will be so bright. There will be so many with the light bulb moments that it's not something they'd be able to easily look away from or ignore or pretend is not there. Awareness is the first step. Awareness is the first step. So we can begin to think of this as a battle that it is, and we humbly help to teach you and guide you on how this battle can be fought and won, and it's nothing like what you've been used to. So I'll say that last sentence again. Awareness is the first step. So we can begin to think of this as the battle that it is, and we humbly help to teach you and guide you on how this battle can be fought and won, and it's nothing like what you've been used to. We can't fix the past based on how the past used to work. We've got to fix things and change things with new tools, and these guys are helping us figure out what those tools are. What are we doing here? And that was it. That was it for the channeling today. I asked Melchizedek, thank you so much. And I asked about that out-of-body experience that I had. I mean, it was so incredible. I said, is there anything, can you comment on this? Do you know what happened? And can you comment on this? And they said, certainly, dear one. So much more space in your physicality, and now you know consciously what it might feel like to be disembodied. I kind of freaked out at that word. I said, disembodied? And they said, yes, disembodied. I said, so that was my energy field leaving my body or my soul or what? How would you phrase that? They said this was a separation between your auric field and your physical body, an out-of-body experience, which is how it's popularly referred to today. You did have some assistance with this, excuse me, but it's something that you have been asking for a long time, and you will continue, dear one, to have more such experiences, and it will be important to where you go next. Oh, when they say stuff like this, I'm just like, what does this mean? And they said, remember that this battle is being fought on multiple fronts. You will be ready. Oh, so, I just think, okay, everything is energy. The physical that we are in right now is basically an illusion. I mean, it feels real. It is real. It is real to us down here. And it has to be for us to learn these lessons. We're being let in on the secrets here as awakened souls, as light workers. We need to know what's going on here. Awakening is really important to our missions here. So I can imagine that there will be times, situations where I'm fighting this battle with negative reptilian energy while not in my body, like in my dream state, or even different aspects of me going out, doing what it needs to do while my body here, Shauna L. Francis, is doing other work on the planet. So I'm still learning how all this works, but it's being fought on multiple fronts. So I'm going to be ready. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this message today. How are you guys doing? Thanks for all the comments and all the subscriptions. We kind of get over 3,000 subscribers and then we dip back down, so we've got a lot of people kind of coming and going in terms of subscribers for the channel. But thanks everybody who's subscribing. It's exciting to be at 3,000 people. I'm so humbled by this process, and I'm so humbled by all of you and your bravery and your strength, and entertaining these ideas and stepping into yourselves. It's so wonderful. All right, gang, I love you all. I should see you all tomorrow. Mwah.